Hello everyone and welcome to our weather update on Tuesday, July 28th, 2026. So currently, again, we have a more north-south split. So in the north, you got the thickest clouds and the heaviest rain. In the south, you have the least cloud and the highest temperatures. So we have a cold front straddling parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. This bringing a band of heavy rain that has been gradually sinking its way southeastwards through the course of the day. Some isolated lightning has been recorded in this zone of rain in the heavier pulses. There was one earlier also over Glasgow. There we go. Also some over Islay. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Across parts of Ireland, Wales, Northern England, some patchy light showers, and a few high-based clouds as well. But across parts of Southern England, again, notice that much fewer clouds. In fact, parts of Cornwall, Devon, like London area, clear skies. And lightning is again flashing away near Stirling and Edinburgh. A few heavier downpours through parts of central Scotland. Yes, and through tomorrow, this cold front will sink its way southeastwards, possibly some further heavier thundery bursts across parts of Ireland, Northern England, parts of Scotland too, possibly North Wales, but again, further south, staying dry, and the heat will intensify. And even as the cold front pushes through tomorrow night, the rain in it will most likely fizzle out to leave nothing more than a band of cloud and possibly light patches of rain pushing through. So if you are in those southern parts of England where you do need the rain most desperately, unfortunately, in the near future, today, tomorrow, and over the coming days, unfortunately, no luck yet. So moving on to the heavy high roads, you can see quite well some heavy thundery rain across parts of Scotland, sinking through the central belt. So there was like Glasgow, Edinburgh, the corridor in between, seeing some heavy falls and some thunder and lightning. Further south, cloud amounts decrease the further south you go, also clearing into the far north as well. So overnight, again, same theme persists, except the cold front does incrementally just slip its way slightly southeastward. So by morning, we end up seeing the activity across more parts of Ireland, just starting to edge also into North Wales and Northern England. And the clearance starts to push further into Northern Scotland. Very slow process. Meanwhile, central, southern, eastern England, dry, clear, and warm. Tomorrow, so when you start off with sunshine and higher temperatures, we will see a hot day, again across central, southern and eastern England. Temperatures into the low to mid-30s, as we'll see in a second. Also, in the north, like Northern England, parts of Wales, parts of Scotland and Eastern Ireland, you can see some intense downpours do form ahead of and along the cold front. So, could be some pokey showers and again, some areas of thunder and lightning embedded in the cold front, as we're seeing today. Again, Eastern Ireland, Northern Ireland, parts of Northern England and central and southern Scotland. Further south, once again, staying dry, hot and sunny for yet another day. However, that will be the peak of the heat and it will push away. But notice, as I said to you before, the cold front will really start to downgrade as it slips into North Wales and further south across the Pennines to leave nothing more than a bit of cloud and some showers along it, some still heavy, possibly. But notice, it really does fizzle by the time it works its way into the Midlands by Thursday morning. Meanwhile, showers follow to Scotland, and some quite heavy ones at that. So, you know what? If you're in the north, actually, next few days look quite wet. But unfortunately, the north needs the rain the least at the moment, the least desperately. Of course, been quite dry July, could do with some topping up, but in the south is where we need it the most urgently. There is obviously an increased risk of wildfires, not to mention that is not at all on par with what's going on across like France, Bordeaux area, and a lot of Spain. Some serious wildfires there. So that is where we desperately, more than anywhere across Ireland and the UK, need some water out the sky. Anyway, so here is Thursday morning. Once again, we see the cold front clearing across England and Wales. Nothing more than a band of mid to high base cloud at that point. So unfortunately, won't be yielding any rainfall. In the north, across Scotland, heavy showers do push in, and with the strength of the sun, we will see further showers start to blossom into the midday period, into the afternoon. Some really beefy downpours into the afternoon across northern and eastern Scotland. So risk of thunderstorms and hail and whatnot, and quite high rainfall totals, as they will be not moving along overly quickly. Winds won't be strong, so they could take a bit of time to pass through, but not the stationary sort of showers. But yeah, just something to watch out for across northern and eastern regions of Scotland as we head into Thursday afternoon. Elsewhere, after the cold front clears through England and Wales, it will leave a day of sunshine and fresher temperatures. Across Ireland, again, sunshine, a few showers dotted about, but otherwise, it should be quite a pleasant day. Now, as we go into Friday, this area of low pressure, this small trough that might trigger some storms across Scotland, does push away, and all areas are left with mainly clear skies. Well, all areas away from the windward coast of Scotland and Ireland, with clear skies and actually possibly some quite chilly temperatures. Now, into Friday, showers form quite widely across Ireland, Scotland and northern England. Some heavy ones also in the mix. Elsewhere across England and Wales, staying mostly dry. Some patchy clouds, but other than that, you're looking at a decent day and much more pleasant after the heat as well. Saturday, much the same, with the north also seeing an improvement with showers more isolated, and Sunday threatens to bring up rain into more southern regions, but that is very speculative, and in fact confidence on that has decreased over the past few days. That low now looks much less progressive, and if anything, weaker and remaining to our west. I'll show you that in a second, as after the temperature forecast. So temperature forecast from UKB, again, today we saw temperatures into the mid to high 20s across central and eastern England, western north, further western north, like high teens, low 20s, and really pegged back across Scotland with low cloud shrouding the hills and the heavy rain. So tonight, temperatures where we see the warm air mass still in place, well, remaining in the mid to high teens. Also quite muggy feeling. Dew point will be hovering also in the mid-teens. So it'll be very humid tonight and quite warm. Away from Scotland and parts of Northern Ireland, where temperatures will be that bit lower, behind the cold front. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we can see a marked boundary there. So say 10 a.m. through like Clare, South Connacht, East Connacht, North Leinster, into East Ulster, and then across the central belt of Scotland, into eastern Scotland. Anywhere west and north of that sees temperatures really pegged back under rainfall into the low teens, whereas ahead of the front, widely high teens, low 20s, but across, again, eastern England, we'll see the heat really peaking Wednesday, low to mid 30s, highs of 35, 36, maybe a localised 37 are the most likely figures. And you see the boundary line between the the warm air mass and the cooler air mass. It just incrementally slips and slides southeastward slowly but surely, and by evening it's through southeast Ireland, Irish Sea, Isle of Man, and the Scottish-English border. Overnight into Thursday, again, you see the heat just starting to drain away to the east, just starting to drain away with the help of the cold front clearing through. But even so, temperatures across with many areas of central and eastern England warm, very warm. and sticky. Dew points overnight will be, again, mid-teens, so quite high levels of humidity going there. So, beyond that, Thursday itself, well, temperatures will, as I said, have come down from their lofty peak, a good 10 degrees from Wednesday. So, high temperatures looking more like 25, 26 degrees rather than 35, 36 across eastern England. Again, getting cooler further west and north you go, and actually across Scotland, underneath some more prolonged showers and a northwesterly wind. Well, some areas of the Highlands not getting above 10 degrees, some 9s showing up there. Would you believe that? It's getting colder as you go through the evening. I think yesterday I did say that only a few degrees lower than that would warrant some pink shades showing up on these charts. Would you believe that? Meanwhile, it's still warm in the south and pleasant. But Friday morning begins much chillier. Still hot, just clinging on to some higher temperatures and a more humid feel in Kent on Friday morning. But other than that, you're much cooler, much fresher. Temperatures across parts of Ireland, Scotland, Northern England actually dropping into the single figures. Friday will be a pleasant day across most areas, like Ireland, much of England and Wales, high teens, low 20s, could be have sunshine, will be pleasant. Bit more showery also for more western northern areas, but even so, sunshine in August, late July, start of August, is very strong. Highlands of Scotland exposed to westerly winds with more showers, just a bit cooler. Actually quite chilly even up there, would you believe that? Okay, so Saturday morning, again, starts chillier. Even Kent sees temperatures falling into the mid-teens. We wash that heat away. And Saturday itself, well, again, high teens, low 20s, highest values, the east and south. Sunday, might see temperatures rising again across central, southern and eastern England as we see low pressure trying to approach from the west. That helps to promote a southerly wind direction, and that will obviously waft in warmer air masses. But notice how chilly it is across Munster, South Leinster and South Connacht there, under what the UKV shows to be an area of prolonged rainfall. However, this is quite uncertain. That low pressure has been causing a lot of headaches recently, so I wouldn't take that too literally at the minute. So going ahead to the GFS. With me. So GFS shows, if we can get to work. Okay, GFS. That's weird. There we go. The GFS again. Low pressure to our north is deepening. It clears a cold front through. Unfortunately, not enough to bring rain into southern and eastern England, and definitely not enough nowhere near Spain and France, where it is most needed with devastating wildfires, and the hot air continues there. I actually do want to take this chance to delve into the heat wave, not only just for the UK and Ireland, well, Ireland not really, but more like southern and eastern UK. But the core of the heat this time will be across a lot of Europe across the next few days, gradually pushing eastwards. So Wednesday, while we do see a return to fresher air masses slowly returning through the day, well, across France, Spain, Germany, Italy, into Central Europe, high pressure, ridging east into, say, Ukraine, down towards the Black Sea. That helps to promote a southerly wind, and the air mass, the heat dome, starts to expand westwards to plus 20 Celsius isotherm at 850 HPA, getting into Low Countries, Germany, plus 25 isotherm is in France and Spain. Going to Thursday, again, high pressure keeps on sliding eastwards further away from us, and that allows the heat dome to try and push further eastwards too. So at that point, hot air masses are starting to push up through, again, Spain's southern France. France also sees a clearance, courtesy of the cold front, but very little rainfall, maybe a few storms on the clearance. But also, the heat starts to surge into Denmark, southern Sweden, Poland as well, Central Europe down towards Italy, as we've established, and the Balkans. And as we head into Friday, well, that heat extends again further eastwards, and possibly threatening the Baltic Sea states as well. Poland, Central Europe, starting to get a little less hot across Germany, France, Low Countries, parts of Denmark and Sweden too. And as we head into the weekend, well, the heat starts to become more focused across eastern, southern, and parts of Central Europe as well. So getting into the Baltic Sea states, into Belarus, Lithuania, so on, Ukraine, and what's not. And actually, it might make a return into the start of next week, despite August 3rd. Heat starts to surge back northwards across Eastern Europe. So it's a case of watching the most intense core of heat migrate eastwards over the coming week across Europe. So yeah, quite an intense heat wave, but thankfully Ireland is not going to suffer the brunt of it. The southern eastern parts of the UK will tomorrow for a time, but really the core of it, the most intense heat, the most dangerous heat, will be across most areas of Europe at some point, away from the far northwest. So, and that's temperatures widely into mid-30s, high 30s, possibly low 40s, and in parts of Spain, mid-40s. So yeah, dangerous levels of heat will be seen from this heat wave. Just it will spare Ireland and northern parts of the UK. Right, so heading through next week then. So we see for Ireland and the UK, much cooler feel to things, high pressure, but will be blocking things out to our northwest over Greenland and Iceland, and that helps to promote a more northerly airflow over the country. So it'll be changeable with a southerly shifted storm track. Yesterday I did dive into this. Jet stream will be to our south, over us and to our south, and that helps to steer in areas of rain and showers to the country. I'm a bit dubious about this pattern. Looks like weak and unusual for summer, to be honest. Very unusual for jet stream to be going that far south in August. But that, if it comes off, big if, that would bring some much needed prolonged rainfall to southern England. So heading off into the weekend, well, we're back to how the summer has been looking for much of the time, with high pressure ridging in from the Azores by August 9th, returning us, well, at least temporarily, to drier and warmer weather. Briefly interrupted around the 10th with a weak front coming through, but the Azores side does come back for round 2 beyond that. So this time it looks to do a bit so more convincingly, especially in the south. And by the 13th, well, most areas are drier and warmer. Not really too hot, but drier, warmer, definitely. Highest temperatures will be in the south, where you have the best of the sunshine in this more westerly breeze, so a bit cloudy in the west and north. ECM. So ECM again, we're looking at tomorrow, cold front coming through parts of Ireland, Scotland, Northern England. Fresher air returns. Blocking high starts to form towards Greenland and Iceland around now as well. Low pressure exits towards the Northern Sea. Hence, we bring in a northwesterly airflow through tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. Showers heaviest and most frequent in the north, possibly also with thunder and hail, and some torrential downpours as well. Especially that's Thursday across eastern and northern Scotland. So beyond that, well, low pressure starts to try and move in from the south on a more southerly shifted storm track, blocking again near Greenland. Low pressure over the Norwegian Sea, and some flabby, weak-looking areas of low pressure, not really that organised, coming through the Atlantic Ocean. Ireland, UK, France, Central Europe, up towards the Baltic Sea. Dubious, looks quite flimsy, not well established, that pattern. And by August 7th, well, we're going back to something more typical for summer, with the Azores side ridging in, and low pressures more towards that west and north. UK Met Run, again, looking at quite a breakdown, I think, over the next few days. Then, as we head into end of July, start of August, go into a cooler run of northwesterly winds. After that, well, low pressure starts to try and move in there from the south. Again, speculation at this point. GEM, once again, cooler and fresher. I'd say gradually there from northwest into the end of the week will be a welcome relief, especially in the southeast. Unfortunately, no rainfall yet. And next week, once again, GEM does have the idea of areas of rain showers running through south of us, and that might bring some more southern areas some much needed rainfall. Overall, the start of August looks quite flabby with the pressure pattern here. Nothing much, no strong players really. So the icon, once again, into early August, a bit different. So a deeper area of low pressure to our southwest brings in a lot of rain and possibly thunder. Wouldn't put my money on that, given the downgrades we've been seeing. Might be upgraded, but I would say that is the least likely option right now. And the arpege, well, once again, cold front clears through gradually today and tomorrow, leaving us in a run of showery and cooler westerly winds on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but gradually drying up from the south again, where it will be dry for a long time yet. Thanks for watching. I'll see you. Bye for now.